Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Pokemon News. We're going to be covering all of the latest information that came out at the end of the month here and things that are happening in the beginning of July. I hope you're excited for what's to come, so let's get started. First of all, let's talk about some minor Pokemon Scarlet and Violet news. First of all, there will be a new mass outbreak event coming up July 4th weekend, and it seems to be Pika clone related. In Paldea, we'll have Dedenne and Palmy. In Kitakami, Morpeko and Pachirisu. And then at the BB Academy, Fussil and Minun will be appearing in outbreaks. So if you're going to shiny hunt these Pokemon, now would be an excellent time to go out and make sure you have enough Herba Mystica so that you can catch these Pokemon. Speaking of events, the next 7-star raid has not officially been named yet, but there's only 4 options left of our pseudo-legendary Pokemon. Hydreigon, Goodra, Kommo, and Dragapult. Considering the order they've gone in so far, the options are either probably Hydreigon or Dragapult, but I'm leaning towards Dragapult since they skipped all the way from Garchomp to Baxcalibur. So maybe they're going back to the end, and then we're going to work our way backwards. So potentially Dragapult coming up next in our 7-star Mightiest Mark raids. Let's move over into the Pokemon card realm. The latest set, Eevee Grove, just released, and with that, they have brought back the Wonder Pick preview event. This event's going to run until July 7th, and this is going to let you look at a card sometimes and see if that card is what you want, and then you can pick a different one if you want to afterwards, making it a little easier to get the card you want from these Wonder Picks. Very helpful event. Um, Going on to the Eevee Grove events, the first one that'll be coming is the drop event featuring Alcremie. It's going to come out in early July, probably around July 2nd. And the main card for this is going to be Alcremie. It's a full art with the drop event sticker on it. And then there will be some other cards as well that are available, including Dragonair, Jolteon, Audino, and Vanillite. Plus, there will be other smaller rewards as well. After that, there will be a Togedemaru and Greedent Wonder Pick event. This is going to happen in mid-July, and it's going to feature Togedemaru with Bristling Spikes. It does 30 damage, and then if Togedemaru gets hit the next turn, it does 30 more damage to the Pokemon that hits it. And then Greedent here has Enhanced Fang. It does 50 damage, but it'll also do 100 if it has a Pokemon tool attached. So pretty decent colorless card there in Greedent. The final Eevee Grove event that has been announced is the Eevee Mass Outbreak event, which will happen in late July. Rare picks will include Eevee EX, as well as Sylveon EX, Flareon EX, Leafeon EX, and Glaceon EX, as well as the other various Eevee evolutions from Eevee Grove in the non-rare picks. Moving over to the regular, just trading card game, Mega Evolution is on the horizon in the Scarlet and Violet sets of the cards. And we're going to be learning more on July 10th what exactly that all means. They've revealed 2 of these Mega Evolution Pokemon already, Lucario and Gardevoir, and that was all the way back at Worlds last year. Will be exciting to see if they reveal any other Mega Evolution Pokemon in this announcement on the 10th. Mega Pokemon are evolving from their basics, just like other Pokemon EX do. So for Lucario, for example, you need to evolve it from a Riolu. Gardevoir needs to evolve from Kirlia. They're not basics like they were in Gen 6. Let's switch over to Pokemon Go. GoFest just wrapped up, and the 2 new Pokemon that were introduced here were Zacian and Zamazenta. Zacian and Zamazenta got their crown forms, and you needed 1,000 energy, which you got from doing their raids to convert them into crown forms. So if you did enough raids at GoFest, you could convert them both. Zacian and Zamazenta can both fight in Dynamax battles and have field effects when they are in their crown form, so you can utilize them in that way when you've transformed them, which is very helpful. Speaking of that, it seems that there will be a little bit of an ending to this Go Fest in August. It's going to be called the Max Finale. Now, you just look at the logo, or if you've watched the trailer that they gave off, it does seem like Eternatus is going to debut at the end of August. So it'll be important to have Zacian and Zamazenta because I'm sure those Pokemon will be very helpful in those max battles. Just like this past June, July will also be receiving a Go Pass. This is a paid pass that lets you get free rewards or lets you get rewards. There is a free track, but it has a lot less in it. The paid track has a lot more benefits to it. And then, like last time, which had an encounter with Articuno, this one will have an encounter with Zapdos guaranteed at the end of the pass. You can progress on the pass by doing daily and weekly challenges, as well as catching Pokemon, doing raids, and hatching eggs. Pokemon Go's 9th anniversary is coming up, and the event for that is going to begin on July 1st. It's going to run through July 6th, and it's going to feature Party Hat Kanto Pokemon returning, probably the starters, and then a shiny form of Roaming Gimmighoul will be debuting in this event. Heading back over towards the GoFest sort of things, we got 3 Ultra Unlocks during GoFest because we completed so many global challenges. The first of which is Ultra Unlock Hisui Celebration. This one is going to be happening July 8th through July 14th, and it's the first one that they have actually given details for. We will be seeing the debut of Hisuian Zora and Zoroark, and there's going to be increased shiny chances of Hisuian Voltorb and Quillfish in the wild, as well as an unknown in raids, which will also apparently have a boosted shiny chance. So if you're looking for a shiny unknown U, that'll be available in in 1-star raids, I believe. The second, we only have the name for. It is called Steel and Scales. It is the second Ultra Unlock for this year's GoFest, and we know it's going to happen July 22nd through July 27th. Obviously, it's Steel Pokemon related, but that's all we really know about it. And the final Ultra Unlock that we managed to unlock during GoFest was Origin Raid Day. This is going to take place on August 10th, and it really indicates that Dialga and Palkia will be returning for a raid day in August. So an opportunity to get these Origin form Pokemon again. We could also potentially see Giratina come back as an Origin form. Probably not, though. It's probably going to be these two. Moving on to some quick Pokemon Masters EX news. The new Seaside Holiday event is coming. It should be out today or tomorrow, I think. And they're going to feature Cynthia and Skyla. Cynthia is going to have Melodic. This is like the 6th Cynthia sync pair. And then Skyla is going to get Jumpluff. She also has a lot of sync pairs. So, but these are the 2 new ones that you can get. Moving on to Pokemon Sleep. Pokemon Sleep's anniversary is coming up, and so a prelude event is going to be happening July 7th through the 14th. This is going to be adding the Hoenn starters to the game. So Trico, Torchic, and Mudkip will be coming in. During this event, 1.5 times Dream Shards, and the cooking pot will be 50% larger for all meals. So a very high-powered sleep week for that one. Moving on to the anime. In the end of the Search for Laqua arc, Freed seemingly sacrifices himself for Liko and Roy and disappears. But some new episodes and promotional art seem to have indicated that Freed has survived whatever happened at the end of that section of the show and has been kind of working and watching in the background. So we could see Freed return to the anime very soon, which is very exciting. I really liked him as a character. And then finally, the cream of the crop, the Pokemon Presents, that'll be happening July 22nd. World, these presents always have a variety of information and then kind of a big announcement at the end. So in general, I think there's going to be some Worlds information. It's already been kind of put out in press releases and stuff, but they'll probably have someone actually talk about it, maybe like the director of the championships will talk about some information about this year's World Championships. There will be some info about the current Pokemon games, like there always is. They'll talk a little bit about Scarlet and Violet, I assume, talk about raid and event info. There'll be a new event in Cafe Remix. They'll talk maybe about some new Pokemon joining Unite. They can talk about Pokemon card stuff. They could talk about Masters and Sleep. There's lots of different things they could talk about with all the games that are currently out. But the big information is going to be about the games that aren't out. First of all, we could get an announcement about Pokemon Champions. I kind of doubt this. I feel like this will probably be talked about at the end of this year's World Championships because it's very competitive related. Champions is basically seen as the next step of Pokemon competitive. So they can take that part out of the actual games and move it into this Pokemon Champions thing, which can read your save data and you can use your Pokemon from any of your games in this game. I think we're going to get a lot more information about that in the upcoming months, but just not in July 22nd. The main idea here is probably that we'll be getting some ZA information. It comes out in October. We don't really know a whole lot about the game except for the limited amount that they've shared with us. But they could reveal a few different things. They could talk about what the starter Pokemon evolve into, whether they're getting a form or a mega or both. They could show off something new mega form wise. So they could show off a new mega Pokemon. We know something new is coming in that regards, but they haven't really told us anything. So we could get some of that. There could be a new Pokemon. Most of the leaks that we've been hearing about say that there aren't going to be any new Pokemon really in this game, but there's a possibility that maybe we just don't know about it and there's a new Pokemon somewhere. They could reveal some more plot points. So far, they've talked about how ZA owns a hotel and he has Eternal Floette, and there's this tournament that happens at night. Um, so more information about that could be interesting. We'll see what happens. They've been pretty tight-lipped about new titles, um, but this is one of the big days where they could probably share something. So very interested to see what happens there. They could also talk about the classic games coming to the Switch 2. We already know Pokemon Coliseum and Pokemon Coliseum Gale of Darkness are coming to the Switch 2 as part of the GameCube emulator. But I'm interested to know if these titles are going to get home support. So are we going to be able to transfer the Pokemon from these games into Pokemon Home? My bets are no. They didn't really do that with other things. It doesn't seem like they're really willing to put classic titles into home at this point. They didn't make a way for the Game Boy titles to get transferred over into the Switch. They haven't put any of the Game Boy Advance games on the Switch, but maybe that's coming. We never know. So with Coliseum and Gale of Darkness coming, maybe it's possible they will add those Game Boy games because they do interact with those. And then finally, maybe the long shot here, but they might talk about Gen 10. Maybe they will address it or just, kind of like do a little tiny trailer with like the logos or something, just so everybody knows that it's happening and kind of give them a rough estimate. This is coming out in 2026 or this will happen in 2027. It's just something to think about. It might happen, probably won't, but always nice to think that maybe they'll surprise us with something fun and exciting. Thank you guys so much for watching and staying up to date on all of your Pokemon news. Best of luck out there, trainers, on all the various Pokemon games and events that are happening. And we'll be back with more news when it's time to report. See you soon.